Hello again, this is the LEGO Star Wars Inferno Squad Battle Pack, another set that's based on a game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and the main campaign therefrom, and also a bit of backstory that was written for a book. Let's take a closer look at the figures first, because they're the most important things. I actually have questions about some of the figures, but not this one. This is Iden Versio, the main character from the Battlefront 2 campaign. You play as her, is the player character, and I think that she is captured pretty well here as this figure. The flesh skin tone, as opposed to light flesh, looks pretty appropriate. The hairstyle looks pretty good. The torso print for her, I believe, is exclusive. Notice it's a female torso, which totally makes sense for this one, as a named character. It's not overdone with the waist lines. It just looks, well, it just looks right to me. This is just well done. There's the alternate face, which also looks pretty good, and that print is really good with the teeth being very, very white. Good opacity on that. It's good to see. One thing that is not working for me here is the fact that there is no helmet included for her. She did have a helmet also. Let me just pull a helmet off one of the other characters though. So that's what that would look like, and there's the problem. I'm sure that's why they didn't include a helmet for this one, because they wanted to include two faces. You have to choose either or if you're going to go with the the actual flesh colored head, rather than a black head with a balaclava style like they used to do, with just a single face printed on one side. The other three figures in the set are outwardly identical. They have the same helmets and the same prints for all of the parts of the bodies. All four of the figures in this set have the same hip and leg prints, and this one has the long gun, which means that it should be the sniper of the bunch, whose last name is Del Mico. And let me just let you see the print on the back of that torso first. Notice here again you're able to see the skin tone very clearly for the head, which is just not ideal if you ask me. I really wish they would go back to the black based heads for these and just do the balaclava style. It really was the best compromise if they could do it properly. So Angry Clone face here. Obviously Del Mico is not supposed to be a Django clone, but looking past that, just looking at the features of the face, they actually kind of do look like a Del Mico face. I can see it. I can see it making sense if I could get past the fact that that has been established as a Django clone face. I could see that matching up, but it's not necessarily the best match in this set, in my opinion. That honor actually goes to this figure, which again, outwardly identical. Nothing different to be seen here externally except for the different weapon that happens to be in the hand, but again, everything else is looking the same. But for the face, I kind of think those sunken eyes look like what they came up with for the rendering for Del Mico. But that's just me. I mean, certainly the angry expression with the bigger mouth made more sense when he was being expressive, but I think when he had a relaxed face, this might have made a little bit more sense. But LEGO has not officially given names to these characters and let you know which is supposed to be which, so it's entirely up to interpretation. And here's the last one. He has a launcher. Now this totally makes sense as a use of that spring-loaded shooter piece. Totally makes sense. That looks really good. And it fires as well. It's a perfect use of that. I'm glad this one does not have just a regular non-working shooter, because this is perfect. But some of the others should have had some nicer looking non-working shooters. You can include both, LEGO. You can do it. It won't cost you much. It's pennies, if that. The face for this one? Yeah, that's Hask. That's totally Hask. Has that very straight horizontal mouth in game. That's what I see there. Notice this one also has the utility belt in black. I guess that's one thing that does differ between them. You can put that on whichever figure you want, but only one of them is officially included in a set. But yeah, there you go. I'm not sure if you noticed what I did there, but I mentioned 3 official characters while talking about 4 different figures. Inferno Squad in the game has 3 members, which is an odd number, literally and figuratively, for a squad. And as it turns out, I didn't know this previously, Inferno Squad did originally have 4 members per the book that they came up with for some backstory. And the 4th member didn't make it into the story by the time of the game. The 4th member should have been, I mean, none of these really work for that. The 4th member should have been a woman. So yeah, really none of these work for that. I don't know which one is supposed to be the odd one out here, but yeah, it's a little bit of a miss. I don't know if LEGO just didn't have the information for that, but yeah, there should be 2 women in total. An extra helmet would have been nice, but it would have required either a single face here or a conversion to a more sensible black-based head for all of these. These battle packs tend to have side builds, and this one has a single-seat attack speeder with lots of weapons on it, including 2 working stud shooters, which are, again, nice to have here. This thing's very swishable, and those stud shooters are easy to fire off without causing any issues with the structure of this, because they're actually, the kind of wings are attached with Technic bits, Technic connectors, Technic bricks, and they're all fairly sturdy, so that's pretty nice. LEGO officially just describes this as a TIE Fighter style speeder. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. It's a made-up thing as far as I know, but there may be things in the expanded universe that look similar to this. I'm just not familiar with any such. I almost see a little bit of V-wing in it, just a little bit. Just a little bit, I said. But like I said, it's a made-up thing, and I think it's perfectly fine. Would have been better if it could have held at least 2 people, but it looks Star Wars, it looks fun, it's playable, and it's definitely massable. So if you want to get multiple battle packs, you can, and you can just build up more of exactly this, and it won't look too weird. It's an interesting choice for a LEGO set. Prior to the announcement of this thing, I never would have expected them to do a Battlefront 2 campaign-based set, but they did. You know I like TIE Fighter pilots. I think they look great usually, and these here with the extra red in them look very nice. I think that Iden was done well. The build is pretty good, and yeah, the whole thing turned out all right. My only personal problems with this are, well, first of all, not being able to properly helmet the main character up, but also just, the heads, as I've already talked about plenty by now. Questions I have about those, but all in all, just as a toy, it's a pretty good toy and pretty well produced. Here's the small number of extra pieces included in the set, and wonderfully, one of the pieces is an extra utility belt thing in black. A great thing to have as a spare. You can find the build for this set, small as it is, combined with one other build over on my build channel. I will link to that presently, and I'll talk to you again very soon.